Mr. Welnik. Why are you here? How did you get involved with Tippy Hedren?
Well, my wife Lori was good friends with Daniel Wright, who is a Palm Springs architect designer. He's here tonight.
Daniel Wright?
Mm-hmm.
He's not related to Francis Wright or
No, he's better than him.
Frank Lloyd.
Frank Lloyd Wright. Yeah, he's a lot better than that guy.
Did you hear the movie The Architect? It was about this guy that famous architect that did like Salk Institute and did like the Bangladesh capital, and it was his son like trying to trace his roots because he only saw his dad like 3 months out of the year. And it's called My Architect. It's a documentary. It's wonderful. If you like that.
So is he the son of Frank Lloyd Wright or this guy?
No, the guy that did the Salk. I don't know what's his name. The Salk Institute and did the capital of Bangladesh. And some famous architect, but I don't know his name. But it's called My Architect. And so if your wife's
anyway, my wife's here too, Lori. And anyway, she met Tippy through Daniel, and Daniel and Tippy have been good friends, and he's been helping do fundraisers for a long time. And I invited Tippy to a gig. One time I was playing with Dark Star Orchestra.
Oh, yeah, I saw them.
It was some theater in L.A. So Tippy came along with Marty, and then Marty let Lori and I spend the night at his house, which was right down the street from Tippy, and so then we got to see all of Shambala. Yeah, her place, Shambala.
Yeah, she was saying it's an outer
in Acton.
Acton, and where is that? Like northeast, or where in relation to?
I don't know the geography, but it's a ways. It's about an hour outside of Hollywood.
And I know you loved playing with the Grateful Dead. I have to ask you. I've been trying to cover their music now, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, well, I was one of the most funnest 5 years of my whole life.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was the best. Plenty of good times.
Right? You were with the Tubes for a while, or?
That was probably the funnest. We had so much fun that it was illegal.
It's kind of scary, yeah.
Yeah, but I was in the Tubes from the very beginning, from 1970s, before they were even in the Tubes, until 1989. And then I was with Todd Rundgren for a couple years, a couple tours. I played on a couple of Todd Rundgren's albums. And then I got into the Grateful Dead in 1990.
And that's right
after Brent Midland died.
Brent, yeah, he had his problems.
And then I was in the band until Jerry died. But it was a blast being up there in the hot seat.
Yeah,
they call it the hot seat because all the keyboard players keep dying that they were in that band.
But it must be fun to be able to be in an experience where you can have a lot of say within your, because it's always a different event every time you play.
Yeah.
Like kind of improv, jazz, type of idea.
And I started writing songs, and they said, "Well, you got to sing them." And when I first started writing them, I thought, well, either Bobby or Jerry would sing them.
The Long Way from
Way to Go Home, Way to Go Home.
Way to Go Home, that's right.
I wrote that with Robert Hunter, and Samba in the Rain. That's another one I wrote, which you may not be familiar with.
I might have heard it.
But I've written a bunch of songs since then, and I have a bunch of songs I've written with Hunter.
I've seen you like in different arrangements with other musicians.
I had a band after the Dead died called Missing Man Formation, and now I'm playing with a band out of New York City called Gent Treadley. And yeah, they're all from New York City.
What kind of music is that?
It's a lot of my music, like a lot of songs that I've written since the Grateful Dead, originals, and then we do some Grateful Dead songs, and I'll do Rolling Stones, I'll do Kashmir by Led Zeppelin. And now I'm fronting these bands and singing lead, which is something I got to do with the Grateful Dead. With the Tubes, I was the high background singer. I didn't sing any of the songs, not lead at least. Always sang the high harmonies, but with the Grateful Dead, they told me that I should sing the songs I wrote, and then we do a couple of Beatles songs, and I started singing those, and so boom,
so
I became a singer.
Like to do a new song? Sometimes you just bust out, or like I remember when you did that same thing. It was the first time in like 30 years you did that same thing.
It's just like you said, you just bust it out. You start playing a little bit of it.
You just started playing it. Not even talking before the show.
No, there's no discussion whatsoever.
Like, all of a sudden you just went into it. Wow, that's really cool.
Jerry had a way of giving you enough hints with fiddling around with the tune to let you know what the song was. And if you didn't recognize it, you could always just look at his hand, see what key it was in, and work it that way.
Sometimes if you were ever, like, you didn't really kind of know, would you just stay in the background? Because that's what we hear. We don't know how to just get quiet.
Yeah, it's better to do nothing
follow the bass
than to...
a couple of notes with the bass,
or just wait until you do know.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to wait for the circle to come back.
Yeah, there's plenty of with the Grateful Dead. It was the spaces between the music that were as important as the music themselves. It's how much stuff you didn't do.
Well, that's what you were talking about. When you have a silent pause, it punctuates the rhythm. You got to take a pause and it adds it a little bit more. And you can do a lot with the silence too.
Oh yeah, like Grateful Dead were able to go from really loud to almost completely silent, just that fast. And it used to be scary, and it'd make everybody in the audience get chicken skin all at the same time, and it would just hush.